Run mode. Splash Wave.
Get ready.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Time over. Game over.
Defeat the unresting ghost of my... Yakos Key is strong here, west of the capital. There is a mad spirit haunting these lands. You must lay him to rest.
It has been a while, Kintoki. I have waited for this chance for far too long. As the rain falls, so too will the world of men. Even in death, the capital shall know my wrath!
He plans to summon lightning down upon the capital. You must stop him. Destroy the four surrounding towers. Destroy the tower by smashing a demon into it.
It shall end here. All things will end. All things turn to dust. The court. You. And I as well. Wretched dog of the court. You are no match for me. Kintoki, I had thought that you would understand. No, it is too late.
Command, we've got a serious situation. McCann is down. Repeat. McCann is down. We have hostiles of an unknown nature. They don't appear to be human. Requesting permission to return to insertion point and regroup.
Your insertion point has been compromised. There is no going back. You need to keep moving.
Roger that, Command. Bravo, out. Okay, Bravo. Remember our objective. Link up with Haz Team Delta. We are in a hot zone, so stay sharp.
Over here! Cover me! Cover me! Enemy spotted! Secure this area! Watch it! Cover me! Cover me! Okay, let's keep moving. Go! Look sharp! Command, we've got a serious situation.
They're on the roof! Contact!
Hostile down.
Contact! Tango neutralized.
Corsi, subito! Mi serve aiuto! Presto!
Hostile eliminated. Under fire! If they're smart, they've set up here.
Granata!
Contact!
Hostile.
Gas! Taking fire. So far, so good. Catch your breath, because you'll be moving into a covered market next, and I expect the opposition to be fierce. Roger. Moving now.
Waiting for orders. In position.
Roger. Moving now. In position. Information. Roger. Open and clear.
Chi è? Mandate rinforzi subito!
Moving now.
Hostile eliminated.
Tango rear.
Threat neutralized.
Allarme!
Lead down! I say again, lead is down!
I hear we have a test flight today.
They call it a Battaloon. 40 times larger than a bomber wing.
A huge barrel with wings.
Barrel? Oh, imagine all that ale.
Don't even start, Rupert.
Man can dream, can't he?
Gerald, I object to leaving our border post to attend Mass at Youngsburg.
Well, Bob's orders, and we live to serve. For what it's worth, I agree with you, Ellen.
Move the cursor with the left thumbstick. Press A to move and B to halt.
Move that way. Let's go. Halt. Move that way. Move. Move that way. Move. Let's go. Move. Move that way.
Whoa, is that what I think it is?
I dislike being spied on from above. Have they never seen a woman before?
Shy, are we?
Move. Let's go. Move that way. Move. Let's go. Move that way.
You know, Ben wants me to court his daughter.
Did Ben say so, or did you?
His daughter's attracted to me. Must be the wide shoulders.
Or the fat head.
Oh, I think I got some Rupert on me.
Ah, you're just jealous. I could see it in her eyes. She ran away, blushing.
Right. She was probably gonna be sick.
Don't believe me? I'll show you. Check out these delts.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
This reeks of the Hex.
Gerald, we must go. Essa needs to be warned.
Wait! Look!
Make them pay with their blood.
Swing away, boys!
Run it then.
Press X or A to attack, boss. Press B for defense.
I'll squash them all into manure. When you need me or Ellen to help, press A and X or B and Y together. You got over to SD.
archers!
We'll dismantle their infantry first. Find their leader.
Gerald, their archers are pulling out.
They're off to the north.
After them.
They're crossing the border.
Let's finish them off.
No. We'll report to Hugh first. We can't cross the border without orders. This is war.
Shouldn't we interrogate one at least? Let me do it.
Ellen, get a hostage. And kill the rest.
My pleasure.
They will pay for this.
This is strange.
What is?
The damage to the town wasn't fresh. More like a day or so ago. Yet the Velves were there. Why would they return to a place burned to the ground?
Vels. Pugh. They raided it, they burned it. That's all I need to know.
No, Ellen's right. It doesn't make sense. We'll report to Hugh first. To the castle. General Hugh, Greyhampton was attacked by damned Vels.
What?
The town was in ashes. We engaged a small band of Velis and captured one of them.
This means war. Gerald, will you be interrogating the prisoner yourself?
Rupert begged for the task.
Once you've gotten all you can out of it, post its head on the castle gate.
General Hugh has summoned the officers. Your presence is required at the main castle. General Hugh has summoned the officers. General Hugh has summoned the officers.
Word from the capital. War is upon us. We have been called upon to reclaim the Holy Ground lost nearly 50 years ago. An army from the capital will join us in Raven Meadow. Because of our unique knowledge of the landscape, we will lead this crusade. The Ecclesian has sent the Holy Ground Reclamation Army. They will pass through Ettendale in the north and head for the Holy Ground site. Men, this war has not been chosen lightly. Our destiny calls. All ESSA troops will assemble at the castle gate at first light. Tonight you are to eat and be merry, but refrain from the drink of the vine. For tomorrow we march on the enemies of the realm.
Pay attention to the morale of the men. When you're ready, go to the gate.
Clean Sweep for Clean Streets initiative appears to be gaining ground in the inner city. Prostitution and drug activity have sharply declined. Shelters and missions have reported a drastic...
Rain, do you copy? Word on the street says that disappearances have skyrocketed, like all the street trash fell into a hole in the ground.
Damn it, Severin, I'm trapped in this dive. What the hell is going on out there?
These thugs are coming out of the woodwork. Rain, you're going to have to find another way out. Be careful. You may have company.
Well, what do we got here? We almost missed this sweet thing.
Jesus, trapped in a burning honky-tonk, and the jukebox is downstairs. Somebody's gonna suffer for this. No windows, but that big fan is set into an exterior wall. You boys should have let me finish my drink.
Very creative, Rain.
Yeah, well, I try.
We're picking up heavy activity over at an old meatpacking plant called Ray Ray's Meats.
Sounds delicious.
Just get over there and see what you can find out.
Till you drop! No escape! Fight! Continue? Game over.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you don't talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight. Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
One of the sort of basic ethoses of design of Fable was this idea that the main character changed how he looked depending on how you were playing that character. Basically, if you were to use a big sword, you'd get more muscles.
If you do go out and you start beating things up, your hero will get stronger. If you don't bother doing that, you'll get thinner. If you eat lots of pies, you'll get fatter.
It really was always disappointed me when I had to play a game and I was forced to be a certain sort of character. I was forced to be the good guy, or I was forced to be the bad guy. The other change that the character has is the game constantly looks at how good you are or how evil you are and will change the look of your character.
If they end up with a game with a skinny, pale, horned, evil character, that's how they played the game. If they end up with this buff, you know, sun-tanned, huge Goliath of a player, that's how they played the game.
You develop your character, so you could play through being really evil, you could play through being really good, you could play through doing all the side quests, all the optional quests, you could do all the core quests. You know, you can really do what you like with it.
The hero is really to give a feedback of how the players is playing the game, really, to give them a visual cue and to like their personality. This is a young hero at the beginning of the game, where you start, the first time you get your hand on the controller, this is the character that you will be playing along. And by the end of the game, you can possibly end up like this character.
The headaches of having a character that changes. I mean, you imagine in animation terms, you want a guy to walk into a room, so he grasps the doorknob, he pushes the door open. That's bread and butter stuff. But we've got a guy here who changes size. He gets bigger and taller, and so it means his hand is never the same height. To do that in sort of like, you know, a couple of weeks with the game being built around you is tremendously hard.
You start off with, you know, no abilities and you're a complete bottom scale hero, and as you go through, you pick up experience with so many different things and different combinations of things that you can.
Yeah, so at the start of the game, you're having to hit things individually, and towards the end of the game, you'll just be able to cast in Flame Spell and boom, and take out 5-10 things at once.
The other change is what I choose my character to look like. I can have his hair cut any way I like. I can have, you know, facial hair like beards and moustaches. I can tattoo myself, again, to make my own unique hero.
I think it's a really interesting thing to be able to look at where the hero is at the end of somebody's game and see how they've played the game. You're not very good at combat, that's where you've got scars and things, and that's why you're kind of battle-scarred. Or you use far too much magic, which is why you're slowly going bald.
Normally, in a role-playing game, you play the role of some character. But in Fable, you play yourself within the world.
Rated RP.
We wanted to make sure that Fable felt like it was in a beautiful, natural, fantastic environment, a place where you would want to live.
We had to hit the ground running on Fable, and that meant that we evolved the look as we went along. And what we did decide pretty much from the early days is we didn't want to do a sort of really traditional orcs and monsters type game, because to be quite honest, we're fed up of that. What we really wanted was we wanted more of a kind of a dark fairy tale. I wanted something that looked beautiful, and the other guys wanted something that played really well. I think we've got a unique fantasy look in the game. I think it's very different to an American kind of look, perhaps, and that means, you know, a little bit of sort of medieval Europe, a little bit of, you know, kind of fantasy thrown in.
We went out into the real world and looked at a lot of natural scenes and environments, and from that, we extracted what we thought would be appropriate to the game and the style of the game that had already been established. We've been very particular about making everything within the game look convincing. Not necessarily realistic, but it's more a case of making the environment, the whole nature of the thing, so it fit together.
Yeah, this area here is fantastic. You get down early in the morning. We choose to live in this sort of sleepy sort of suburb of London, and we've got beautiful countryside around, and we love that. And you know, we've gone out and we've taken cameras out, and we've walked around, and we've taken pictures of things and said, look, we want that kind of feel in the game. One of the things that we just took so much time overdoing was the trees. And it seems like a really kind of obvious thing, but it's one of the things we had to get just right. I mean, they're really expensive objects to draw in the game, technically. They had to have a huge kind of canopy because you were going to walk underneath them. We wanted sort of beams of sunlight to come through the leaves and all the rest of it. Trees, flowers, grass, foliage, that kind of stuff is a pain in the arse, and yet that's one of the key things that makes Fable what it is. The houses, although they look quite simple, you know, they're quite sort of complex objects. They've had to be split into interiors and exteriors. All of the windows and the doors and everything are generated in the game. You know, a lot of decisions were kind of quite late decisions. The ideas to put fireplaces into the houses. Obviously, putting a fireplace into a house gives it a much more sort of cosy feel.
It's a labour of love, a lot of the stuff that's gone in there. We spent a long time on it, and we're really pleased with a lot of what we've done. So just take time to look at the world as well as play the game, because it's all part of the experience.
Rated T for teen.
Poor old animators kind of get the raw end of the deal, because with all these mad things that we're trying to do with simulation, some poor bugger's got to go and make sure that the people doing animation for every single little nuance of expression and emotion, every single thing you can do to a person, they've got to animate it.
The last thing you want to do is you're playing a game and let's say you're fighting someone and you've beaten them. You don't want a zombified looking character just going and falling onto the ground. You want to see the anguish on them. You want to see they're tired. You want to feel that you've got there and you've beaten them.
The way the process works on Fable is that we've got a group of modelers that are creating all the characters, and the job of the animators is to bring those characters to life. Well over 5,000 animations that have all been handcrafted. This particular animation is one of the undead soldiers. These are the control points for the character, so we can control the hips, translation up and down, side to side, and we can also control the rotations as well. These are very sort of zombie-like creatures, very lumbering and swinging the very heavy weapons, so there's lots of bodies and bones flying and lots of effects on top.
This example would be the Wood Nymph. I went through about 5 drawings until eventually they accepted this one. The Earth Troll, a large monster, a huge creature. The hero of the game is about that size. So this should be towering and huge. He would be throwing lumps of rock and rising up from the earth. When you see them in the game and the whole concept has actually worked, I was very proud of them.
You tend not to notice good animation. If the character presents itself as something that's you know, in charge of its own actions and in charge of, you know, whatever it does, if the fact it's swinging a sword is by its own accord, then the job of an animator is done.
Musically, Fable has to have so many different elements because the game is not just one style. It has a fairy tale element, it has a sinister element, there's happiness, there's sadness, there's evil and darkness. We decided quite early on to make sure that all those elements were in the music, so we couldn't just have one style. But what we did decide to do was to have a theme running through, a thread of a theme running through all the music, so there was still some sort of continuity through the whole thing.
I say, quite nice. That paves the path.
Danny Elfman was involved quite early on. Once he'd seen the game, he agreed that it was a great project to work on. And in his previous stars from previous films fitted perfectly with what we wanted. So we got Danny to write us a 3-minute theme, which we're going to use over the intro.
Yeah, let's do one more from the top. It's just time for me to say goodbye. It's going to be in the Xbox, Microsoft games all over the world instantly. Believe it or not, it's a new generation of games. Thanks. I'm going to run out of here and see you on screen.
We wanted to make the use of music in Fable much more subtle, in a way that you weren't listening to music, you were actually just getting the feel of the music behind what you were playing. So when you enter regions which are either quite sinister or threatening, we decided we'd bring threads of the music in, but overlaid on top of the original score. That way you get a sense that something's about to happen, but you're not quite sure. Other ways we use the music were to bring danger elements into the music. So if you were really under threat, we could make that apparent. And of course, there's the pure combat style of music. So when you were actually deep within a fight, we could then bring out the fight elements of the music as well. So the music played a big part in conveying the emotion. Fable is a very organic game. It's based around hearing things which aren't only to do with music, and other elements of the game audio are extremely important. You have to hear the audio cue.
You've achieved an excellent score.
You have to hear the dialogue. You have to hear certain effects in the overall ambience to make sure you're getting a feel for what the region's like. And writing music for a game is very much based on that. The music is really important in conveying the atmosphere in a region that the hero enters. A prime example of what I've just been talking about is actually the graveyard, and the graveyard obviously has a very distinctive feel about it. When you go into the graveyard, you know that there's a real sense of foreboding there and indeed danger. Now, Oak Vale is where the hero was born and bred. It's a place where he feels extremely comfortable. It's very quaint, so we wanted to give the place a feeling of being happy, but not overly happy, just a nice, relaxing, pleasant place to live. The music for Witchwood has quite a quirky feel about it, and the reason for that is that the villagers are not overly friendly. They see you as a stranger. Play the game through to the end, because there are a lot of real musical treats coming. You can walk around new regions 20 hours into the game, so keep playing. There are some real musical treats to come.
Rated RP.
The story in Fable is all about revenge at the start. You think it's revenge, and then it's all about power and the player's reaction to power.
Essentially, it's critically important that the player should never be left feeling that he doesn't know what he should be doing next. So the big challenge that we had with Fable was to make sure that at all points he knew the storyline that he could be following if he wanted to. What we then decided to do was allow the player to follow that storyline and deviate from it as much as possible, how and when he liked.
As a player, it's not a particularly linear experience, and there's almost this sandbox feel to Fable. I can go into a town and I could easily spend 2 or 3 hours just playing around in the town.
You can go and deviate from the storyline completely and start helping people out who don't necessarily need helping, or you can start helping out bandits to start raiding traders and things. How you do it is pretty much entirely up to you. Do you want to do it sneakily? Do you want to do it using spells? Do you want to do it only using your hands? Do you want to do it using a stick? Do you want to do it being evil? Do you want to do it while helping people on the way? It's just a massive combination, and hopefully no two people at the end of the game will have actually had even close to having the same experience.
The real feeling, and it is a feeling that I want people to have when they're playing Fable, is wonder, is to be constantly surprised by what the world is like, and that is the beauty of the world, and Fable is an amazingly beautiful place.
The whole goal is to try and create a world where people would actively like to be, but you can go and wander in to any place and start interacting in a way that you can't really do in any other role-playing games. The game just becomes more than some of its parts, and it just feels like this weird thing which you want to spend time with. And I really do hope that people do find out some of the hidden things that we put into the game and spend that time enjoying it.
Everyone should go and play in the towns and see what they can find, and all the little mini games and things to discover. You know, that's what I'm looking forward to playing myself.
The important thing is, while I'm playing it, I want to play it how I want to play it. I want to feel that the experience I've had has been unique in 100 different ways because of the way I've played and the choice that I've decided to make just then and there. And not necessarily have to worry about the fact that if I do make that choice then and there, I won't get to see half of the storyline in the game.
There's no other form of entertainment that you could, whether it be films or TV or books, where you can put yourself into a world and into a setting. And that was really the thought behind Fable. Let's get the player into this role-playing game.
For video games, you don't really know what's going to happen until it happens. The player is actually the mixer. The player is the one that is the director. They're changing the environment. They're changing the audio based on how they play, and we have to be prepared for that. All audio really is dialogue, music, and sound effects. Now, we have to take that and break it up and make some things interactive and some things linear, like a movie. So we'll break audio down into different categories. For instance, character audio, the footsteps, the grunts, and the swings. We play those interactively from RAM. Detail like that, I think, is what makes these characters come to life. You see a certain sequence that happens the same way every time. We can stream that from disk. So for things that are linear, we bring the work into our higher-end audio studios. What we'll do is we'll capture that animation and do it in full surround sound. We have virtually unlimited audio tracks. We can use our whole arsenal of tools. And we have the opportunity to do that just like we would do audio for a movie. So for the last scene in Moria, we start off with just some general cave ambience. And that can be like a 3 to 4 minute loop that's streamed from disk. And on top of that, we have another disc stream loop that is the music track. Gandalf and Balrog are battling there, and those are actual live characters making sounds from RAM as they're doing it. If I run the character far away, it gets softer and softer, and you can start to hear more of just the character sounds. But also, as you get closer and closer, the fire ambience changes and gets louder and gets brighter until you go right up to the Balrog, and it's a really loud, in-your-face, fiery sound. At the same time, we have the ability to change the mix of the entire game to help emphasize his attack. What we'll do is change the mix of the ambience and the music so that as he's flying up, everything else is coming way down, and then pretty soon all you hear is the wind and breeze because he's at the top of the mountain. And then as he's smashing down, all the music comes back in, and so we have real-time control of all this. And to me, I mean, you can have the greatest sounds you want in a video game, but if you don't have control of them, it doesn't make any difference. It's the control that we're really after. The biggest challenge for game audio is creating a seamless experience. Taking all these individual pieces, the RAM sound effects, the streamed audio, the music, the voiceover, and putting all that together and making it sound like you're really there.
City on Earth, darkness will descend. Enemies will rise, and the fate of the world is in your hands.
online. Xbox Live, November.
Rated T for teen.
あなたに私は倒せない。
Rated RP. Rated RP. Rated RP. Rated T for teen. Rated RP. Rated R. Rated RP. This game has not yet been rated.
Are you serious?